live music and other performing arts should be a priority in COVID-19 reopening plans. Before COVID-19 shutdowns in March 2020, my drama students and I at Carleton University were scheduled to attend a live theatre production of Daisy by playwright Sean Devine that opened at the Great Canadian Theatre Company in Ottawa. Prior to the pandemic, as part of the Ottawa theatre community and the coordinator of Carleton's Drama Studies program, I would typically attend a production of the performing arts theatre and dance opera on average once a week. While missing live events due to closures, I have been among the most members of the public who turned to online arts and cultural events. I also integrated this into my teaching. There were innovative productions shared by many art companies throughout the past year, such as the series Grand Acts of the Theatre, which engaged 14 theatre companies to create and perform works in front of live audiences outdoors and then shared video performances online. This work, curated by National Arts Centre's English Artistic Director Gillian Cayley with Sherry J. Yoon, Artistic Director of Boca del Lupo. This kinds of collaboration that straddle live performances and online content may well have become permanent effects on how the arts engage audiences and how diverse cross-Canada audience and creators access theatre resources. But we must remember that online experience not a replacement for live performances. Our policymakers need to pay closer attention to the critical role of the arts in healthy and vibrant societies and do a much better job at prioritizing live arts in COVID-19 reopenings. Sectors at risk, as the OECD notes, arts and entertainment are among the sectors most at risk due to the effects of COVID-19 closures. The downsizing of creative and cultural sectors would have a negative impact on cities and regions, not only in terms of direct economic and social impact but also in terms of well-being, the vibrancy of cities and communities and cultural diversity. Economists like Annie Tubaji have similarly argued that the cultural sector is predominantly a public good for preserving mental health and that as such there is justification for much more public spending to support this sector, which include venues and producers devoted to arts like music and theatre. But now, as Ontario moves into reopening following the most recent lockdown, live arts are being treated as a luxury instead of something critical. According to provincial guidelines, indoor art events except for rehearsals remain closed in stage 2. Yet religious services, rites or ceremonies are allowed 25% room capacity for indoor activity during the same stage. As Mitchell Marcus, artistic and managing director at the musical stage company, told CBC, theatre actors are going to work in a parking lot outdoors in the hot sun, while their equivalent peers in the film are working 50 people indoors, while their equivalents in the athletic world are practicing for their games indoors. Outdoor open events are permitted, including live music with spectator capacity at 25% and other restrictions. If, as the OECD and others suggest, that the culture and creative sector promotes a strong economy by supporting the mental and by extension physical health of the country's workforce, then allowance should be made for small numbers of audience to gather with full safety protocols in place starting in stage 2. Arts and social cohesion. Having lived through the isolation of lockdown, there can be little doubt that now of the value of the arts to heal, soothe, invite, thought, entertain, share our stories and to allow us to be a part of a community. The idea that there is a connection between the performing arts and the psychosocial is not new. There are many signs that audiences are feeling starved for live arts. When Toronto's musical stage company recently put ticket on sale for its Posh Side Song series back after its success last summer. Tickets for all 60 shows represented outdoor groups of 10 sold out within an hour. Across the country, many arts communities are ready to speak to audiences' hunger for art that speaks to these challenging times. Companies like National Arts Centre, in partnership with local theatre companies, are developing live performances that will later be shared online, titled Grand Acts of Great Hope. live performances and performers need our support to make the work we crave. Prioritize arts reopening. In response to the Ontario reopening guidelines, the Canadian Live Music Association (CLMA) has circulated a petition demanding that provincial government allow live performances venues to open to smaller audience with safety protocols in the place, and is advocating ways for communities to have a thriving music economy that is recognized, promoted and receiving the benefits of music through an increase in jobs created, tax revenue and spending in the community. Arts organizations have diligently researched that what it takes to open safely. Beyond Ontario, the NSE has collaborated with 40 plus Art Cross Canada organizations to outline practical idea to support for safe reopening of the Canadian performing arts sector. These companies have gathered best practice and share health and safety protocols, how to audit for risk assessment and even case studies relevant to music, theatre and dance. 5 ways to support performing arts now. For those asking how we can support the performing arts and ensure that they can continue to buoy up as we look hopefully to the end of the pandemic, here are some suggestions. Sign the petition circulated by the CLMA or create one of your own. If you are able to make a cash donation to your favorite arts organization, if you can donate tickets for an event to others whose circumstances are less secure than your own. Post messages of your support on social media to let artists know their work is being valued. Events are announced whether in person or online. Buy tickets if you're financially able, even if you can't attend. I know that the first time we enter theatre or concert hall for a performance, it will be kind of emotional, and I look forward to sharing that with audience and the performers who have managed to hang on. It will be a celebration and we all need to look forward to that.